Good evening. Welcome to City Council Chambers for a public meeting on the second phase of the Downtown Streetscape project. My name is Christopher Millett. I'm the Communications Director for the City of Erie, and I'm just going to give a quick update on what we're going to do here tonight, and then I'm going to turn it over to the people who know what's going on. At the center table right here is Rob Wernicke, who is our project engineer for this project. He'll do most of the talking. And to my right and Rob's right is Leanne Parmenter, who is our traffic engineer. To my left and Rob's left, sitting at the table, is Jason Sayers, Bureau Chief for Engineering. And also at the side table here, we call it the kids' card table, of course, for Chuck and AJ. Chuck Zisk, our Public Works Director, and AJ Antelik, our Assistant Director. And to my left is our Mayor, Joseph Schember, and he's on that microphone there. So Rob is going to begin our presentation in a moment, which in the chambers here you can see on the screens, and our live stream on YouTube and our Zoom live stream can also see. And I will be monitoring any comments on our Facebook feed and on the Zoom call. I will bring those comments to the public meeting, to the microphone at some point in the presentation. If you have any comments, please save them for the end of the presentation after Rob is done. And we are going to focus on the phase 2 of the project, so please limit your comments to phase 2 if you can. We'll respond to all relevant comments after all of the comments are offered. When we do get ready for public comments, just line up on the side over here. There's a sign-in sheet. Just line up on the side there, and you'll get a 3-minute limit for your comments, and our team will respond to all of the comments after they're made. And again, I'll be monitoring any virtual comments on Facebook or Zoom. So that's it. I'm going to jump over to the machine, and I will run the slides, Rob. Okay, so I'll run the slides, and Rob Wernicke's going to take over now. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Again, as Chris mentioned, my name is Rob Wernicke. I am the project engineer on this project. I know we've recently met about phase 1, and originally this project wasn't going to kick off until next year, but due to some scheduling changes and funding sources, we're looking to kind of run phase 1 and phase 2 concurrently. So we wanted to kind of meet and let everyone know what phase 2 entails. So some of these slides in the beginning you guys might have seen, but I kind of wanted to reiterate who's involved. So involved in this project, we have some funding sources through RACB, EGRA, EPA, CDBG, the Perry Square Alliance, and the city here. So we have multiple different funding sources for this project. Good. So this is an overview of a location map of where we're talking. Phase 1 and phase 2 include South Park Row to 12th Street. Phase 3 is 2nd to North Park Row. Again, this is a repeat slide, but I just kind of wanted to show the overall project so everyone's on the same page. Some facts and history. This is actually a picture of a state here right now. This whole project that we're doing right now was kind of developed with a master plan that was done in 2010. We did a streetscape from 12th to 14th back in 2010. Yeah, back in 2010, around the same time as the master plan. So we're just kind of moving forward, going from 12th to South Park with this phase in 2023. So back in 2015, we did the Perry Square Alliance, or Perry Square renovation, excuse me. And as you saw, we added the stage and the fountain, revamped the fountain. This past year, which we are getting it finalized, the Perry Square electrical upgrades, we did add some service into Perry Square. The west side has additional hookups for some vendors and for the events. The east side has 4 food trucks on, what would that be, South Park Row. This is the picture of the master plan. As you see, we're only concentrating on the sidewalk area. It has a 6-inch curb, an 18-inch step strip, what we are incorporating, and then we have a furnishing or a planning zone, and then we have the sidewalks. So the project phasing, like I mentioned, we were going to do phase 1 this year and phase 2 next, but we're kind of doing them concurrently. Phase 1 right now is pending approval, and it should begin here within the next few weeks. Phase 2 is what we're talking about tonight, and we're hoping to kick that off here in another month. And then phase 3 is next year, actually spring of 2025. That's due to working with a local, with Erie Water Works. There's a water project pending down there, so we don't want to dig it up twice. So I kind of hit this on the last slide, the project status. Like I mentioned, phase 1 includes curbs, that step strip, new LED lighting. We're going to kind of readjust the spacing to make it a little brighter down there, downtown, and then we're going to also install soil cells. Soil cells are kind of a rain garden, if you will. It's underground. It will help with the trees, and it will help with some of the runoff on the water. Like I said, phase 1 is currently being reviewed and hopes to be kicked off here in another week or two. Phase 2, we're in final design, and we're bidding shortly here. And like I said, we're doing it because of the timeline and funding sources. Phase 3 is still in design and on schedule to start spring of 2025. So next few slides have kind of the materials that we plan to do for phase 2. As I mentioned, the curb and the step strip will be already installed, and then we're looking to do new planter areas. We're looking to take advantage of the soil cells and the soils under there so the trees will grow better, and we're also proposing a native vegetation to be incorporated in those areas. Stamped concrete would be the next material we're looking to use. So in between the planter boxes or the planter areas, we're planning to use stamped concrete. We were going to use a dark gray, kind of a smoke colored concrete with a light pattern. The areas in green that are hatched up there are kind of shown as the stamped concrete areas. And like I mentioned, the sidewalks will also be replaced in phase 2. The sidewalks will be anywhere from 10 to 12 feet wide, and we're going to be replacing them from the business frontage to the planter areas. These are some trees we are proposing. We have a ginkgo tree, an American elm, and a red maple. Due to putting the soil cells in, we plan to possibly remove most of the trees, but we do plan on adding all the trees that we do take down. We will add a tree for it. It's coming out to pretty much a 1-for-1. So these are the 3 trees we're looking to put in. And also new ADA concrete ramps. We're going to remove the existing bollards at the ramps and install new warning DWSs, the detectable warning systems, and redo the spacing because those bollards won't be there, so we'll be able to line up everything a little bit better. So the next few slides kind of have the preliminary drawings here, or preliminary to final drawings here. It's kind of showing the blue hashed area is some of the driveway areas. This area is 11th to 12th. The green, as I mentioned, is the stamped concrete. The open areas between the green is the planter areas. So what we plan to do is put the planter areas between each lighting. Like, we want to keep away from the lights because we don't want the trees to block the lights. So we came in about 15 to 20 feet, spaced everything evenly, and added these planting areas. The purple is the sidewalks that we're looking to redo. And like I said, Chris can kind of go through these slowly if you would like. These are the plans. This one is from 10th to 11th. This one is from 9th to 10th. You kind of see the same concept with the lights, a little bit more stamped concrete around the lights, and then the planter area spaced equally in between. This is the same here, 8th to 9th. The no work area is the Warner. The Warner Theater just installed colored concrete and heated sidewalks, so we're staying away from them, and we're not going to work in front of their area. And we have talked to them about that, so we're not just staying away from them because of that. That's what they would prefer as well. So this area is 7th to 8th. Same concept. As you see, there's not a lot of planter areas in front of the Boston store. That's because of their overhang and their entrances, so we stayed away from there. But we do have planter areas in other areas along that block. And this is South Park Road to 7th. So I know that short and sweet, but I just wanted to show everyone kind of the materials we're looking to do and the concept, and to get any public input.
I'll start off the public input from a comment, Facebook comment from Erie resident Fred Tepfer. While phase one, I guess, West 12th Street was completed, there should have been upgrades to traffic signals to include accessible pedestrian signals to be in compliance with ADA since federal funds were involved. Just a comment. You want to wait until all... Are there any other comments? Anybody else want to bring up a comment and then we'll address them? No, if you don't mind, if you can come to the mic, please, because our live stream can't hear you.
Ed Kissel, 2815 Sigsbee. Are there bike lanes designated on this corridor?
Are there any other comments, or we can just address the two comments? Let's go ahead.
The master plan did show, if you want to go back, the master plan did show a bike lane. Keep going. A little more. One more. Well, maybe a few more. Right there. As you see, the master plan done in 2010 does show bike lanes. The funding sources and what we're doing right now is the sidewalk area. I believe that will be assessed in the future.
How do they maneuver around the bump outs?
There are no bump outs planned for phase 1 or phase 2.
But from 12th Street up to 14th, you have bump outs for crossing all the way down to, you get down here to the North and South Park Row.
I know the master plan included this, it's called the ceremonial street. I'd have to look into the plan a little bit to see how it addressed, and I can meet up with you and discuss that, but this is the concept for the ceremonial street.
Okay, and I take it that when the Bayfront Parkway gets moved into the railroad right away and goes under State Street, that PennDOT will take care of that and abut your program to the south from 2nd Street. Does that map show, by the looks of it, it's from 2nd Street going on up south? I think your diagram of the State Street corridor, the first or second slide that you showed the area of development, that there. It looks like it goes down it goes down to 2nd Street, I believe. Is that in front of Hammett?
Yes. Yes, the project limits are...
3rd Street then would be in front of Hammett, I take it. 2nd Street doesn't go across because that's where the ambulances go in.
Correct. Yeah, when this project right here is from 2nd to 12th on the west and east side of State.
And will the merchants, they pay an assessment of some sort currently for that corridor for maintenance and all? Am I right on that? That went in some years ago for either on a real estate basis or so?
I don't know of that.
Yeah, and you're referring to the Downtown Improvement District, correct? when they join that,
Okay.
all the downtown.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I understand the question, but
And that goes all the way up, how far south does that go? To
How far does the downtown,
district go to 14th, or does it go up to 18th? The district?
I don't know the,
Your downtown partnership.
I can't see the bottom.
the downtown partnership, they stop at 14th.
Up to 14th Street?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Again, addressing Fred's question about accessible pedestrian signals.
So as part of this project, signals were not included, but we have applied for funding for signals along State Street. So hopefully those will come soon.
Any other public comment? Any other public comment? Is